I got some news on Call of Duty Warzone 2. The release date was reaffirmed for 2022. They're saying it's supposed to come out on the back side of this year. This whole article here talks a lot about that, how Activision has reaffirmed that it will be releasing Call of Duty Warzone 2, which is the unofficial name for it. They're just going with Warzone 2. It's going to have a different name when it launches, apparently. But it says that it will arrive soon after Modern Warfare 2 this fall. So Call of Duty 2.0 is what they're referring to it as, will still release in the back half of 2022. Further details on Warzone 2 weren't offered up, but the game is said to be going hand in hand with Modern Warfare 2. That is not something that I believed in the beginning. I for sure thought that Warzone 2 was not going to come out until way later. Like, I thought it was going to be a couple months down the road, because that's how Warzone 1 was released. We got Modern Warfare 1 in, I think it was October that year, which was, 2019? And then March of 2020, Warzone 2 came out. Warzone 2 is still on track to launch at some point later 2022. However, it does remain a bit peculiar that we haven't yet seen anything notable from the project. That's the other thing that makes me think that they might delay this, because there's been no marketing, no promoting, no gameplay, no nothing, no leaked images. So I'm not sure that this is 100% accurate, but this is what Activision is telling us, that it is due for the back half of 2022, sometime after Modern Warfare 2 releases in October. So hopefully we'll see it before Christmas. But we'll see. All right, and then I got a second piece of news. News numero uno. Here we go. Verdansk back in Warzone Season 5. So apparently there's been a big push for Verdansk to come back in Season 5. Players and content creators alike have been pushing for Activision to bring Verdansk back in Season 5 as a send-off for the game. Whether this is actually happening or not is left to be determined yet. I've heard that they've said it could happen, but whether or not it's going to, I don't know. This article here actually talks a lot about how bringing back Verdansk could be a bad thing, because there were a lot of issues that Caldera has fixed. Talked about how, like, Caldera, you can't have building top campers like we did in downtown, because there's no buildings that high. But now we have the redeployed balloons that I think could get you to the top of a building in most cases, and or you could pop a redeployed balloon and shoot yourself away from rooftop campers, making it less doable for rooftop campers. Some of these long-range guns like the NZ41, that would be total nightmare on Verdansk, because it was a lot more close shooting. Most of the time inside buildings or right around buildings. It wasn't long range. So a lot of these Vanguard weapons are long range kind of things. So that could deter people from going that way. Warzone developers have already admitted that the game is bloated, which makes it very difficult for them to find bugs and patch them quickly. What I actually heard in the beginning was because they brought Cold War in and moved Warzone off of the new good engine and onto the old Cold War engine, it made a bunch of things not work, and a lot of things were broken, and they couldn't even figure out where it was broken. This update here just kind of talked about how, like, you could possibly see 100 gig update just to bring Verdansk back. There's apparently no plan for a Season 6 after Season 5, because they're going to be basically moving on to Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2 and working on those. So they would only have one season to really bring back and fix Verdansk to make it work to where it's somewhat enjoyable while it's the final send-off for the game. So, I mean, there's lots of things to consider there. And after reading this article, I could very well see them not bringing Verdansk back. But I think that this push is a good thing, because it might give them the idea to use rotation in Warzone 2 and give us that new map, which is supposed to be South American based, and rotate between that map, Caldera, and Verdansk, much like Apex does, much like PUBG does. A lot of these other games that are big battle royales that have multiple maps do them on a rotation. And I feel like Warzone would benefit from that because there are people who really like Verdansk, there are people who really like Caldera, and I'm sure this new map people are going to really like too. And I think that's how you keep the majority of your fan base interested, by doing a rotation. So here's me saying it, people. If they don't do a rotation on Warzone 2, they're fucking it up right from the get-go. All right?